Well, welcome. Another Thursday night here. Well, Friday night.
Black
I'm so
Friday.
used to the Thursday night, Thanksgiving. I was back on time. I was gonna do it, and I was just like, you get that holiday mode, and it kind of demotivates you, makes you lazy, and you kind of think, well, hey, nobody else is working on a holiday. Why do I?
It's that turkey.
Well, the turkey too. Yes, I try to limit the turkey because that just kills me. But I'm still, even if I limit the turkey, I'm stuck with all the carbs. I'll be eating mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, the stuff, and all that.
Oh, it's Thanksgiving. Give yourself a break.
But this year was a little different. I went to my in laws, and I actually don't have any leftovers this year. I left before getting leftovers, and today I'm like kind of lost. Normally, every other Thanksgiving, I've always had just like, go in the fridge. I'm picking and taking what I'd like, and just nothing there. It's a true horror story right there.
That's good idea.
But
Great.
we're getting into my favorite time of year, though. No, not really. I lied. I really don't like the holiday season at all. I really think it's a lot of commercialized bullshit. Yes, it's for the kids, and it's great to see their eyes light up, but it's a fucking nightmare. What do you think most heart attacks happen between December and January? Because the stress on the adults is asinine, and the stress that we put on ourselves too, just to you know, just to even try to succeed. But over the years, I've learned to get through all the holidays with another coping. The same coping skill I use for almost everything: horror movies. And I have to say, Christmas horror has become probably like the number two genre of horror. Like, so Christmas is definitely now a horror holiday. I'm going to go through about 25 movies that people can watch. And it's going to be, from classics to new. And you can watch one a day, 25 days of horror movies. And I urge you to check them out. Some of them are good, some of them are okay. Some of them are like, why? But at the end, it's all fun. Let's go down the list, though. Let's talk about some of these. I mean, number one off the top bat is Black Christmas. It was made in 1974. Total classic film. You have the dorm, everything, sorority houses going on. The classic weird prank caller. Somebody's in the house. Someone's going to get killed. You got a slasher going on. It's creepy. It's a creepy movie. Especially because, some people are staying behind for the holiday. They've done a lot with that, though, I will be honest. They remade it once again. And this was a whole, remake, I will say. And they did that in 2006. And when they did that, it was a little bit more bloody, a little bit more up to date. I remember watching it and being like, oh, I actually like this a little bit more than the original. A little bit, just a tad, not much. But then in 2019, it came out again. And this time they reimagined the whole thing. And this one has like a whole cult into it. There's not just about sorority, it's also about fraternity. It really is one of those movies that is like, I liked it. I know a lot of people did not. I know a lot of people that will say it sucked. I know a lot of people that think it was trash. But for what it was, I really did actually enjoy it. And they did some other the same thing kind of too. If you remember Silent Night, Deadly Night, another great movie. 1984, you got to kill a Santa Claus. Finally, we're seeing somebody dressed as Santa killing. It was a little bit more to that story. Same thing with part two that came out in 87. There's more to that story than just it being actually Santa. I'm not gonna go giving into spoilers, but it was good. It set the tone. I remember being a kid and watching and this episode actually scared me because being a kid, I watched an episode of Tales from the Crypt, and it had a Santa episode in it. And I remember the Santa just being creepy and disgusting and dirty and killing. And I was just like, oh my God, Santa can kill? and just being like, wow. But they would also remake and modernize that in 2012 with a loose remake. It was a little bit more brutal, not as I don't know. I don't think it was as good and as classic. I actually got to see the people that played the first two in the Santas in the first two movies at a recent convention, and they were both really really cool. I have to say. Number 7, we're gonna go down 1980 Christmas Evil. To a psychological descent into the madness from a man who's obsessed, just obsessed, absolutely obsessed with Santa Claus himself. Very scary movie from that mindset. I find psychological movies to be a little bit more scarier than sometimes the slashers. You know, what's more scary than some, madman with a knife? Well, your own mind turning against you. Speaking though, if you want to talk about Killer Santas, they say that this is one of the first true ones. Before anything else, and that would be the 1980 classic To All a Good Night. I do think people should urge people to watch it. It's not the best of films, but why not? Here's one that we were talking a little bit about earlier, and with enough dabs, it is definitely watchable, and it stars Bill Goldberg, everybody's favorite wrestler, as a demon Santa, and that's Santa's Sleigh. Came out in 2005, and honestly, I think it does hold up. It's not the worst movie. It's what you would expect out of a Goldberg movie. And I think that in that, I do say, like I said, I mean, some of these movies, again, they're going to be outlandish. They're going to be, crazy.
The
Number
first
10,
half,
though,
was, the
coming
first
in.
half of the movie was good. Second half, that's boring. That's
The
stupid.
second half is when the dabs wore off. Number 10, one of my favorite films. I like this film. It's become a staple, and that's Krampus. I'm actually excited. They just released a 4K version of it with the naughty cut and everything, and I'm gonna be checking that out this year. I like it. It's not an over the top horror film that you can't let the kids watch. My son enjoys it. It doesn't have blood and guts and gore. It's nothing like that, but it does have some good horror elements, some good comedy in it. I enjoyed it. Number 11 is going to be A Christmas Horror Story in 2015. It was Krampus vs. Santa. It had zombie elves, a possessed teen, had everything. It was a modern anthology film. You can find some of these on Amazon Prime and Tubi and stuff. They'll have these anthology films, and they'll have a bunch of little like horror movies together. I prefer that sometimes, just because I like to watch a bunch of short films rather than one ass long one. That's just me personally. Number 12 is going to be A Finished Folklore about an evil Santa, and that's going to be Rare Exports. It came out in 2010. It's a very unique film. I would say it's, atmospheric in a lot of ways. It's also folky, if you like folk horror. It's not going to be your Hollywood blockbuster, but it's going to be, something a little bit on the creepy side. Because you got to remember, Santa in itself, if you go throughout the world, it has a lot of darkness to it. I've seen, some very dark images, and what happens to the naughty children has always been the question. And originally, it was Santa dishing out the punishment. Over time, I believe that they needed to change that because kids were starting to be frightful. So they changed it over to Krampus. But in the originality of a lot of these things, it was Santa dishing out the punishment. You would see an angry or mad Santa. And you didn't want to fuck with that, Mac Daddy. I swear to God. Number 13, one of my favorite ones, came out in 2016. Better Watch Out. It's a home invasion with a lot of twists and turns. Babysitter, kids. You can find it on Netflix. You can find it. It's worth the watch. I really enjoyed it. The ending is a good ending. It was a good movie all around. Coming number 14, we're going to talk about The Lodge. Came out in 2019. It's a very slow burn. Isolated snowfall, bleak winterish nightmare kind of film, Perfect kind of movie when you're in a storm and there's nothing going on. You kind of turn off, dim the lights, and put on one of these atmospheric films and kind of get involved in that. Immerse yourself in it. Number 15 is another one I really liked. It came out in 2008. It's called The Children. It kids become murderous over the holiday weekend, and nobody really knows why. It's a very underrated film. It's very scary because of the way the children just kind of snap, and seeing kids do evil things is always kind of a scary sight. Especially when they're like really maliciously evil and the kids are young. We're not talking Home Alone jokes. We're talking somebody slicing a neck or something. It's pretty devastating at times. Number 16, we're going to talk about Atroz, the Advent Calendar, or the Calendar. It's a 2021 modern French film about a cursed Advent calendar with deadly consequences.
Here's a question for you.
Yes.
You mentioned Home Alone. How come Kevin McAllister never got charged with attempted murder? But someone goes on in Crystal Lake or Texas Chainsaw Massacre family, it's all bad. But no. Is this a white thing?
No, he got arrested in The Good Son when they finally found out what he was. And that was a fucking really sick, sadistic killer kid. See, by that point, he already had lost his parents. He already gotten rid of them. He was a foster kid, and he already had to move in. It makes perfect sense. And then by Party Monster, if you follow the timeline, he's off doing drugs and with Marilyn Manson and shit. He grew up fast.
Seems the same thing. It's like the same thing. It's just someone entered your property. What happened? Kevin McAllister defended it.
The only thing Kevin didn't do, though, is Kevin didn't kill anybody. He did it with slapstick comedy, which...
No, you know what Kevin's fault was? He didn't finish the job.
Well, yeah, but look at the Three Stooges. How much of a punishment can somebody take? Maybe you should reboot this. You want to do a Home Alone rated R version? Go for it, man. I'm down for it. I'll film it. Number 17 is going to be
the people have spoken. The people have spoken. That was a great question.
It is a great question. I do agree, Misty. It is a great question. But the answer would be because he didn't actually kill anybody, and those criminals were wanted.
It's money. The McAllisters were rich.
They were rich, but also they were... Well, what do you think Mr. McAllister did? Let me ask you that. Because, we've seen him years later on The Sopranos begging Tony for forgiveness.
International drug trade.
It had to be, right? And they followed that up into with The Sopranos episode when you see him begging for his life.
Yeah.
But honestly, how do you forget your kid twice?
Jesus, how many people went to Paris? 6, 7? That's probably Jesus, not just use the 6-7 reference, but 6 of them, 7 of them, 10 of them.
I think Uncle Frank had the real money. He could have bought himself out of trouble. That is true.
Well, he's a little kid. He don't fucking go.
Well, he was a minor too. That's the other thing. Would have been a slap on the wrist, and he would have went off to juvie.
I only got one message for that kid.
What?
Watch out for the bee stings.
Well, there's that.
Watch out for the bee stings.
That's the one thing. That was his weakness. If those people had thought about it, they would have brought a pack of bees.
I'm such an asshole.
What it is, there's more jokes about... You know what? Just for that, I might make an AI later. Worse than the time I got stung by all those bees. And see what pops up. Number 17, we're going to talk about another modern horror. It's called P2. Ladies, it's Christmas weekend. She gets trapped in a garage. It is pretty cool. The guy chases her all around. He's kind of a stalker. I liked it. It's not terrible. None of these movies are terrible. They're Christmas horror, so you can't expect great things, but you expect something.
It's Christmas horror.
Number 18, I think this one is grossly underrated myself. It has a lot of good actors in it. Came out in 2003. This was this is a monumental moment right here. This is Dead End is the name of the movie. And in 2003, I watched it though in 2006. I rented it 2007 actually. I rented it from a Hollywood Video. They still had Hollywood Videos. And I'll be honest, this is the last movie that actually scared me, that I actually watched it for the first time and felt some dread, and afterwards was a little bit weirded out and looking around and stuff. Since then, it's never happened again.
Coming from a guy that will watch Saudi Arabian infant porn,
whatever it is,
goes Ethan Van Bayham.
We've seen it all, but that movie, that when I first watched it, messed me up. Number 19, not to be confused with the kids movie, which is pretty scary.
Real fast. What movie have you watched in horror that messed you up the most?
It's not a horror film. It would be Requiem for a Dream, and just the downfall of people's use of drugs psychologically messed me up the most.
Yeah, it's a horror.
Seeing like just somebody rich and happy and going to like college, and then at the end, doing ass to ass fucking for some pimp because she needs a bag of dope, and a dude losing his arm, another one in jail, like another lady, so addicted to wanting to be skinny that she did so many uppers that her mind was just rotted away. Craziness, but it's that psychological horror that I think is really scary. I mean, what's worse than losing? Yes, it's scary being chased, but I mean, what's scarier? I mean, I think the scarier thing is you start losing your mind, you start losing your freedoms. That's scarier, man.
Losing your kids worse.
It is. Number 19, and like I said, not to be confused with the kids movie, Jack Frost, 1997. It's comedy, it's horror, it's campy, it's funny. I liked it. It's kind of like Uncle Sam, what he did for the 4th of July horror scene. They actually came back and made a Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman. It is what it is. There was another one though. I think there is a kids movie though, where like the father dies and like comes back as a snowman. I remember, horrible story, but like my cousins lost both their parents. One year, and then a couple of years the father died. And they came here to America. They were in Australia, and they came that winter, and we brought them to the movies. And when do we go see that movie? And like, dude's father dies. The kids are all upset. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you couldn't have picked a better movie for these kids. Like, come on. But the horror version, you don't have to worry about. Number 21, another great movie. I love this one. It's called Wind Chill. It is to me, I liked it because it's kind of real. It's about, not really hitchhiking, but driving along a road. I like movies where there's roads, people driving, because you never know what's going to happen on that road. Who's going to be on that road? What's on that road? There's so many things you can do with road stories. But this one was really cool. It's ecology, and it has some good moments. 22, we're going to go all through the house to Modern Slasher. 2015, Master Maniac, but it gave a lot of throwbacks to the 80s. Fun flick. Number 23, Saint or Sint. It's a modern Dutch horror from 2010. Evil ghost Saint Nicholas returns every 32 years for blood. So every 32 years, this dude's coming out and killing.
Sounds like Santa's Slide.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Jeepers Creepers of the Santa world. 24 was Red Christmas, and I like this one a lot. Dee Wallace was in this, and she fights for her life during this holiday invasion. It's really creepy because she has a family, and she sees this other person. I don't want to throw it all off, but really good horror. And then the last one is going to be Terrifier 3. I know that it's kind of new, and I bumped out Violent Nights, which came in 2022. But I think that Terrifier 3 is a new horror film for Christmas because Art the Clown
had me in mind when you said that, didn't you?
No, I wasn't even thinking that. I'm thinking Art the Clown in a Santa outfit with maybe a chainsaw or two. I don't know. After I thought about the chainsaw, I thought about you, okay? Put it that way.
What about the demon that decided to play themselves with a piece of broken glass?
That's foreplay. That's not really anything.
Okay.
That's just whatever. That's insequential. You know, and I
Terrifier
heard that
3,
number.
the
They're,
only
they're
movie that
saying
weirded me out.
they're saying number 4 is going to even be more crazier and batshit wilder than that.
Oh, good.
But I mean, if you don't want,
just take that cocaine in it.
I heard that the actor does cocaine on set and at conventions. I heard this from an eyewitness. I don't know about on set, but I did hear at conventions that he was caught doing coke. Which I'm not surprised. Celebrities are celebrities, dude.
I did hear the actor who played Pennywise. They show behind the scenes footage of how he's as they say, his character was so scary. He was when the camera wasn't rolling in costume, he would be nice to the kids and playing with the kids or whatever like that. Just kind of say you see, it's just because
Bill, yeah, because Bill, you got to remember he wasn't always a horror icon. He had other roles and other things, and he's not that kind of only known for that role. But he has this something about even his face without he had that wicked grin. But I mean, there's obviously some honorable mentions and some other things that you can talk about that are kind of like for instance, one for the whole family. If you want to watch some with the kids and you don't want blood, gore, or anything like that, watch Gremlins, right? Gremlins is a great family fun favorite holiday film. It takes place during the Christmas season. You got some little critters. Classic. But all those are great movies. You're going to see some blood, guts, gore, craziness, holiday madness. But it will all get you through. Yep, it is. It's going to be good. Seeing what I've been reading and stuff from Bloody Disgusting and the stuff that is coming out of Thornton's Post and the stuff that I've even kind of asked Damon about when I was in Worcester. It's going to be something quite insane. It's funny, like Mikey, we were talking about it today, and you mentioned Pennywise, and I think Pennywise was scary on its own, but I think Art almost topped it because Art became a scary clown that does just these over the top kills, and he doesn't talk. Something about the not talking, I think, makes it a little bit scarier. Although Tim Curry, I think, was a scarier voice for Pennywise. Bill plays a scarier Pennywise in the newer movies. I'm starting to follow along with the Return to Derry, but it's very much like the book, and the book is very I don't know, it's very cosmic. There's a giant turtle that's the opposite of what Pennywise is, and it's this ancient creature, and it's very, very, very it's very, I don't know, it's very out there for a horror, so I'm gonna kind of have to pull it in and just be oh, okay. Kind of happened the same thing with The Shining. I loved the movie. When I started reading the book, it's getting into all these other deeper topics. Sometimes things for me become more sci-fi than horror, and then I kind of lose interest. Not that I don't like sci-fi, but if I want to watch sci-fi, then I'll watch sci-fi. But if I want to watch horror, I'll watch horror. See, back in the day, I think sci-fi was horror. Movies like Jaws were considered horror. Movies like Alien were considered horror. Nowadays, those are sci-fi, action, adventure, or creature features.
Yeah. Yes.
But like I said, just like the Halloween season, I will watch 25 days of these things. And some of them haven't seen before on that list. A few of those foreign films. Some of them I watch every year anyways. And some of them I haven't watched in a very long time. So I look forward to kind of documenting and seeing what some of these are. Because I do watch, like I said, I watch Krampus every year, Dead End, a few of the other ones. But I haven't seen Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 for 20 years or something. I don't think I ever watched the remake. But I do look forward to it because, like I said, it is the fun part, and it gets you through the holiday season. Because it's going to be stressful. Shopping, getting things ready. The kids are all crazy. The vacations start. We got less than, a month right now till it's all over because Thanksgiving was kind of late this year.
Ah.
But
it is what it is.
It is. But like I said, I am there for it. I am there to enjoy the horror season. If people are into it, though, I mean, just to let folks know before we do the other half, which we are going tonight's going to be the night I think that we're going to win in Fortnite. Just to let folks know, if you guys want to come on to Twitch and watch all that, you can. I definitely recommend that. But
yes, we'll be on Twitch after this recording.
But I was gonna say there was a lot of Black Friday sales today in the horror realms and world of things. I found some, sites that were doing a bunch of autograph grabs for really cheap. 2 autographs. One was like 2 autographs for 40. Another one was 2 11x7 autographs for like 60. There was another one for 65. 2 autographs and a signed mask. All random. You don't know who you're gonna get.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
After the Christmas horror,
yeah,
what's next?
See, that's where it becomes iffy. There really
Valentine's Day horror.
There's a little bit of Valentine's horror out there, but that's really just dominated by like My Bloody Valentine. Maybe Hard Eyes now is the newer one. I would have to say, because of the lack of what people done with the Easter Bunny too, and they could have done a lot with the Easter Bunny. They could have made I've written serial killer movies about an Easter Bunny, a mall bunny. Because I think there's something scary about seeing a dirty ass mall bunny fucking chasing you with a hatchet. I played games based
dirty
upon
ass backyard are chasing you just because they're a pedophile.
I've had that already in Woonsocket. I don't need any more of that.
Woonsocket.
Well, that's why I don't go to Rhode Island anymore. I'd rather the mall Easter bunnies chasing me with the bloody fur. But no, I played games similar to that, but I don't think they do enough with it. So, I mean, I guess the horror that would dominate it all would be Leprechaun, right? St. Patty's Day horror. Leprechaun has enough movie for the whole month. Which I'm going to be meeting Warwick Davis next year in Texas. I'm very excited for that. I met Ozzy, what's his name, Mark, there, that played in the first movie. And this year at Terracon, I got him to sign one half. I will get Warwick Davis to sign the other, and I'm looking forward to that too, because I haven't met him. I really wish he would do an in character photo op, but I don't think that would ever happen. But it would be cool. But there's a franchise that started off really serious, kind of scary, got a little bit weird, then just went, fuck it, we don't even care. Like, I like the third one when they're in Vegas and the girl wishes for bigger tits and he makes them explode. I thought that was brilliant. And being a kid around that age, I thought it was entertaining enough. And then when you got to, Leprechaun in the Hood, that was this classic movie. I mean, you can't beat that.
I never seen it.
You got to at least watch Leprechaun in the Hood. Smoke some good shit. Watch that. You'll be cooking.
I've seen like Leprechaun, like the first one.
Yeah.
Probably the second one. But I haven't even seen the one in Vegas.
Second one was weird. I didn't like that. It was like more of the urban legend. Third one's in Vegas. And then, like I said, that other one would be that would be the Leprechaun the Hood. Leprechaun Space was okay. But then Mike Levy and them all put together, people that did stream did do a remake or a reboot of it and actually brought Mark back as the original character, brought Warwick back. So haven't watched that one yet. I have it. But I mean, that's all I can really think of for that. I mean, because then you don't have any more holiday horror. It's all sporadic. You have like 1 or 2 4th of Julys, mostly Uncle Sam. And then it all starts back up to Halloween. But I mean, next year you're supposed to get a lot of releases, right? You're supposed to get a new Scream. You're supposed to get a new Scream. You're supposed to get also a new Terrifier.
And Versace has not found a movie yet that weirded me out.
That weirded you out?
That was self-reflecting.
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to wig you out. That's good. I don't get wigged out. That means at least I know you can hang.
I just want to see like how dark you can get, how deep you can get.
We've been getting dark and deep. We've watched some of the greatest pseudo snuff movies that you can find. Anatomy of Hell we'll watch next. You'll maybe turn your eyes and go, what the fuck? Maybe not. It might arouse you. I don't know. We haven't really gone to the French extremity scene too much.
Oh yeah, Neko. What was it? Neko.
Oh, that's necromantic. You haven't gotten all of that yet, either in English. That might make you turn your head, seeing somebody bang a corpse. We still have hope. I still have some tricks up my sleeve. I mean, but I'm going to tell you at this time, we're going into the foreign territory because I don't think there's anything in the American culture that can shock you.
Nah.
I mean, if you watched the Serbian film and you were chill with it, think you were eating popcorn or something, then hey. But I mean, like I said, next we watch Martyrs, Anatomy of Hell. We can watch Necromantic 1 and 2. We can watch freaking the one where I showed you the clip where the guy's getting head and then throws it out the window. High Tension.
Yep.
And then one of my favorite fucking films, I thought it was really fucked up, was Frontier. Airs, and then it has an S. About this Nazi family on a farm. People stumble across it.
That clip you showed me that we eventually saw the movie when the girl was getting railed from behind and the guy got like all drugged up and gets handed a saw.
Yes, that was the yes,
Serbian.
that was Serbian film.
That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
That was cool, but it wasn't like, like didn't make me go like, what the fuck? Terrified with putting the chainsaw up the guy's ass.
You think the chainsaw? But let me ask you a question. Just like, you think the chainsaw up the ass was more shocking than the newborn porn scene?
Yes, you know why?
Because you could see it. You could really see what was going on.
Because it was just kind of like you had the heads up that this might be like really fucked up.
Oh, that too.
The Terrifier was just like zing, zing. It's like, what the fuck? No,
and I think it makes it even worse that like.
Because you couldn't say that this movie's fucked up. This movie's fucked up. So I expected it.
Art's smiling too while he does everything and just really happy and extra enthusiastic.
As you bleed to death, he's just like,
I mean, I remember when we were in the pandemic and like we were all just sick and we all had COVID and we're sitting around and we had nothing to watch. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going to put on this movie. And I put on Terrifier for the family. My mom's like, what the fuck are we watching? And the next thing you know, the lady's getting sawed down to half in the middle. My mom's like, Jesus Christ. Like, if I could go into bed now, I would, but I can't move.
I remember back in the day when they had this kill scene for the unrated version of Jason is Dead. With the posts, they with the tent when the girl was riding the guy, and then they just like,
oh yeah.
When that came out, I remember just everyone was like, "Oh my fucking god!" That is so like it was like the next level up. Like, oh my god.
Well, I heard a lot of the Friday the 13th. Yeah, it was not a family movie, but it depends on the family. I mean,
it's on the family.
I'll get them conditioned. But no, what was I gonna say now? What were you saying?
It's just the camp scene.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Friday the 13th. I think was one of the most franchise that got the heavenly sanction and cuts made to fit editing. Like they just didn't want to have all these kills in the way that they wanted them done. All the kill scenes are supposed to be much more bloodier, gorier, crazier.
But these days, kill scenes is like son saw another kill scene, and he said he looked at it and like, that's fake.
Yeah,
and
but I thought
fake.
Not for nothing. I thought the Nightmare on Elm Street series was more bloodier. I mean, you had the first guy, blood coming out the fucking walls. You get the girl being dragged across the roof. Like, you got all sorts of shit going on in that.
Oh yeah, that was another level. Back then, it was that's what maybe Freddy was the last horror movie I saw. I have all the slashers, I should say. If you had to go by the order, Freddy, because Nightmare on Elm Street was this kind of you can die in your sleep.
Yeah,
that was like really like shit, type deals. Then I
It
started
was. It
watching
was.
it. I enjoyed it.
It was. It was next level. I think Freddy brought something to the table that other people weren't doing. It wasn't your average slasher. It wasn't your Michael Myers. It wasn't your Jason. It was like you said, something in your sleep that brought an extra level of fear. Because how can you fight someone you're sleeping? You know. But then you had things like Child Play too and stuff, and they always tease with the idea of attacking a kid. But your son the other day asked a very good question. Thought they didn't kill kids. What movie you guys watching? Was it Pet Cemetery? Which one was
Oh,
it?
the one we were watching, Halloween Ends.
Oh, Halloween Ends. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the first thing kill as a kid, and he's like, "Oh my god!" It's like,
Well, Michael Myers gave no fucks. First of all, if you ever watch any of the Myers films, he killed dogs and kids. He didn't really care, but he only really targeted babysitters. If these other people came in the way, they came in the way. But he's one of the only people that have known to kill the dogs. Like Jason wouldn't do it because the actors didn't want to do it on scene. They said no. Not like they were killing real dogs. They just didn't want to portray the violence.
yeah,
Animal violence is a big thing in movies. It's very heavily watched and sanctioned. People won't want to work with animals unless they're treated well. There's a lot of advocates in the movie industry for this, and places and animal activists. But I always noticed that watching Halloween, even when I went to the theater recently in October to watch the first one, that he kills the dog and he does all this stuff. And you don't really see that in today's movies because normally the pets are just left alone. Well, they get possessed or some other shit.
anything that involves kids, that's what gets to me.
No, yeah, that's why I'm like, you watch that movie with the kids, the Christmas one. Even if you're watching what happened to the children, it's kind of eerie because the children just different when they come back out of the mountain or the cave, and it makes you just kind of think. And
Like
and,
that
and you
Siberia flick you show me. I watched that, and it was just like, in Siberia, there's probably kids getting raped anyways. Without the horror,
what movie?
the Siberia movie.
Well, yeah, but you know what you should watch if you really want to be scared is Megan is Missing, because it's so real to life. A young girl and her friend meet somebody online, thinks it's their same age. They actually meet up. Guy fucking kidnaps her, holds her hostage, rapes her, and then just stuffs her in a barrel and leaves her in a warehouse. But the way it's filmed like it's a very real movie. Like this could happen tomorrow. This is happening right now. This probably is. And it's a very good one of those movies that kind of it's like the Requiem for a Dream. It wakes you up. It may not wake you up to the drug scene, but it's gonna wake you up to, informing your kids about stranger danger on fucking line. Not everybody's your friend. Don't go meeting fucking strangers. Don't go meeting people. You know, you don't know who people are.
I just put more security on my son's PlayStation account.
You have to. Right now Roblox is a hot spot for freaking pedophiles and creeps. And rightfully so, Misty. It is a real eye opener of why social media or just meeting people online can be so dangerous because you don't know. For every nice or good person out there is people that aren't. I mean, granted, I'm not going to say I never met people online, but I was older. I was an adult. I wasn't a kid. When I was a kid, there was no internet. You met people
I
at
think
school.
what happened to Harper. Whoever was doing it would be meeting Charlie Kirk sooner than later, and they could compare stories about how their gunshot wound ended their lives.
Well, I'm sure the father in that movie was thinking the same thing, but at some point you lose control. And I think that's the scarier part. As much control as you want or grasp of somebody you think, you know, that's why I don't let my kid play any of that stuff unless I'm playing. And then if they talk, I end up talking for them, and then most of them just pounce. They're like, "Who the fuck?" But that's the scary part, Vic. It's like as much control as we want, as much as we have, and these things can still slip and happen. Things can still happen. All it takes is for one kid just to wander out. Even like a kidnapping movie or something. It just takes one split second for something bad to happen. It doesn't take long. And I think that's what it plays on, that we're not, as much control as we want, we don't have 100%. We never will. You can't keep
Hello.
your kid boarded up and locked in the house.
Yeah, you can.
Well, what is this fucking that movie with the people under the stairs? You can't treat the girl that way. You can't do that. Yet they have to go out to a normal society.
Who says?
No, she was saying,
I said, who says that? Who in our society? I'm the fucking parent. I have rights. If I want to put my kid in a tower like Rapunzel, guess what? You be getting monthly haircuts.
huh? I mean, I don't know. Vermont laws might be different. I'm not saying it's a bad thing in the society we live in. You know,
She's
you have to. If you don't protect the children, nobody else is.
I think also when you have a daughter, it's more like. But I see my daughter with her tantrums these days. You know, banging her head on the floor, and you just hear boom, and it's like it fucking hurts to even watch that.
Now imagine it's some poor dude that's trying to fucking take her, and she just whacks him in the head and kills him. You come in, some dead dude's on the ground. You just pick up your daughter and walk away.
Get rid of the body first.
Nah, it's not your problem. Accidental.
Just like that fire across the street from me the other day. Accidental, yeah.
I still think your ex-wife did that. I think she was trying to smoke you out. Like they smoked the dragon out in freaking Alice from Wonderland.
She never smoked me out.
No, but honestly, your area has weird shit. I bet that fire isn't the only thing. There's been talks in your towns and areas of storms that just pop out of nowhere, fires that have erupted. You live in fucking like almost the Bermuda Triangle of Vermont. Put it that way. And there's that too. Pull them inside. They were trespassing. See, that's why I never felt bad for any of those Texas Chainsaw kids, man. You went on their land. Cannibal or not, you went into their house.
Yes, I agree.
Whatever brutality falls upon you by entering another man's home, it's on you. Same thing with House of 1,000 Corpses. Don't go picking up hitchhike. I mean, there's a lot of things don't do. I'm a morbid person too. I don't believe in that.
Yes, it's like Misty's new to the show. It's like morbid. Morbid is our
fucking living morbidity. If you listen, somebody walks in the house, it's going to be a horror scene, and I might even film it. Why not? We might go live. Vic, we got a special episode. Somebody broke in. Welcome to Horror Nights. Start the Red Room. Start the bidding. But, you know, if you look at it, though, like you said, like we've always talked about, a lot of these horror movies do start with somebody breaking into somebody else's home, getting murdered, and then the people that they're the bad guys because they defended their house. Jason defended their house.
It's just like fucking. How's this? If you don't want to get killed by Leatherface, here's a good piece of advice from us: just don't even go in the state of Texas.
Well, I have to go in the state of Texas. I'm going to the horror convention in May.
Yeah, but you're gonna go see Leatherface killing someone. He's gonna look at you and be like, "So Versace," you're like,
he'd probably ask me if I want to join. I could see them saying, "You want a piece? You want to borrow the saw?" I mean, I hate to say it, but that picture of me and them too, we look like we all belong. I mean, I hate to say it. But I mean, put it in a frame. I mean, I look like I belong with the goddamn family.
You do.
My brother Chop Top, my brother the Hitchhiker. I mean,
you should have maybe asked if can you be an unofficial member.
I think they were. He liked my hair.
Yeah, but was it like, "Hey, I like your hair," or was it like patting your head, going like, "I like your hair"?
No, he said my hair was on fire. I take that as a good thing. All that's missing there is just Bubba and the saw. But no, I mean, it is true though. I mean, and then like I said, I was looking into that whole Jason thing too. How many times though? Not just like they want to reopen the camp and reopen the camp. You know how disrespectful that is.
You know the legend.
You know the legend. You want to reopen the camp for a profit. It's a big no-no,
Say sleepaway camp.
Wow.
They say, let's say that with sleepaway camp, they knew that they thought that the girl was gone or the killer was gone. Jason,
Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah.
Sleepaway Camp is a beautiful movie, okay?
It
First of all,
but I would say like Jason, it was like you see campfires, they go, sees a phrase like there's a legend out there that boy Jason Voorhees, you knew he was out there. Sleepaway
Camp, you knew about that.
She was locked up, dead, or whatever. But it's like you knew he was out there.
You knew the mother was still alive. I mean, where did she go? She just didn't disappear. That's like, speaking of disappearing, do you hear about that lady? Now, I've been following this case for quite some time, but back in the day when Slender Man first appeared, this girl got fucking like really deep into it with their friend, and they took one of their other friends out to the woods and tried to kill her. They ended up stabbing her several times. She did not die. She got away. She was in a mental institution for many, many years. I guess she got into like some kind of a step down unit or whatever it was. She fucking escaped. Now they caught her since then. But they were saying that she was trying to do it again. She was trying to go back to Slender Man. That's crazy. That's crazy horror right there. I remember watching them, I remember reading the story, but then HBO did like a documentary on it. And just watching the victims talk, being such a, oh yes, I just wanted to bring her to Slender Man Castle, and the only way we could do that was to stab her through the heart. So we lied to her. We told her we were having a sleepover, and then we brought her out. And it's just like, these kids are planning a murder. That's scary to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just happened.
Yeah, that's a scary part.
You never know. Some people take these stories to be true, you have to remember, horror is just horror, but at the end of the day, all of this horror stuff is mostly for entertainment. Some of it does have some truth, figments. Like Nightmare on Elm Street, for instance. They did find, that there was a stories of some town that people were dying in their sleep, so Wes Craven wrote stuff.
I lived in
See, again, yeah. I mean, I feel bad for the other girl, though. I feel bad for the girl that got stabbed, but her other friend, that she tried to drag into it. Because I don't think she really knew what was going on with that whole thing. I don't think she understood that, hey, we were going to kill somebody for real.
GTA, don't trust anybody.
Well, I mean, you can't. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, when they're that young, but where are the parents? That's what you got to wonder. Like, I mean, okay, you tell me your kid's watching Cartoon Cat. Don't you think you would know if your son started to, lure another kid away to try to kill him, to sacrifice and feed him to Cartoon Cat?
Blame the mother.
Well, I mean, yeah, in your case, I guess you could get away with that. But in this case, they were all together all the time, 24/7. But the mother looked a little crazy too, I think. I don't know. It's a sad situation, though, because it involved, children. Luckily, nobody actually got killed, though. Thank God. The girl survived the attack. Because, it's horrendous when kids, have these violent acts to see. But, like I said, I look forward to the next set of horror season. Especially because like I said, It's a different feel. A lot of these horror movies that happen around this time also involve one thing that that brings it together is family, and you usually get fucked up families, which I enjoy watching. You're watching the dysfunction of a fucked up family, or people arguing during Christmas.
Yeah.
At least makes it real. Because in the other movies and the Hallmark films and all that shit, everybody's cherry go lucky and happy and rosy, and that ain't it. Everybody's a miserable fuck for the most part. If they're not, they're putting on a fake front, and there's always some kind of bullshit. Somebody's always dogging somebody. Somebody's always fucking digging somebody. It's how it is. And I like in the horror movies they actually show all that out because there usually is some kind. Oh, there's some fucking uncle doing fucking coke in the bathroom all the time, or someone got too much to drink, or this one's a shithead, or this one's a fucking pervert. They explore all those areas. Well, yes. I mean, I don't think she was I think she was criminally insane. I don't think she was just a straight criminal. She didn't. I still don't think she really, honestly knows the difference between reality and fiction. I think that even with their meds, she doesn't understand that Slender Man was a creepypasta story put out by someone to gain traction online. Again, sad case. Mental health is a scary thing too, and a lot of people unfortunately get lost in the cracks, or it gets diagnosed too late. Nobody probably diagnosed her. She kept to herself and enjoyed horror and dark stuff. So they just figured, well, she's a gothy kid or whatever. And nobody ever, looked out for other signs. And especially with schizophrenia, it's not something that you have usually as a kid. Usually, like as teenage years happen, but it comes on the same time as like just moodiness, hormones, and everything else. So it's like it's very hard. It can be very difficult to diagnose, which makes it even more scarier. I don't think her friends knew. I don't think her friends' parents knew that, hey, I'm sending my daughter over this girl. She has schizophrenia. They're going to go out for the day at the park together. Like, I don't think anybody knew that or anybody thought about that. At that point, she wasn't medicated for it. She wasn't even diagnosed. It's a sad case. I'm glad nobody's trying to capitalize off of it, though. They made the Slender Man movie, but it had nothing to do with similarities to that, and it wasn't even closely remotely to that story, which I liked. Even though it was a shitty movie, they could have done a better Slender Man movie. At least they didn't try to copy that story in cinematic format. Because at the end of the day, I don't think, she was reading off the lore and it got in her head, that she could summon Slender Man or do these things by giving, Slender Man a sacrifice or giving him a body. And again, that's just not rational thought or thinking.
Us. Don't we deserve a sacrifice? Haven't we put enough time for someone to sacrifice someone for us?
I do blame the parents. I mean, like I said, my kid watches a little YouTube or a little this or a little that. But if there's something I start seeing, and I start seeing him even like obsessed with one thing or hooked on one thing, I then get involved. Not stopping it, but seeing what he's getting involved with. What's the game he's playing? What's the premise of it? What's it about? Is it just violence or something dark and sinister, or is it just something harmless and fun? You got to do a little explorative work. Kids are smart these days. It's not just right in front of you. It really isn't. And again, I don't know. I don't know what the mother was dealing with that. I don't know what she thought. I think she was trying to maybe do the best she could with her kid, but I don't think she understood her daughter. I don't think she understood her from what I saw in the documentary. Like I said, she was into this dark stuff. She was into all this, macabre and like you said, morbid stuff. But morbid doesn't make somebody kill. Morbid doesn't make somebody psychotic. A lot of stuff is coming out that's saying horror is beneficial for people with trauma, anxiety, and depression because it gives them a sense of almost safety because they're watching something with a controlled amount of fear. But to the wrong person in the wrong mind, it can be dangerous,
Exactly.
At least you know the difference. You're not telling me, Art the Clown's coming this holiday season. I see you show up my house with a chainsaw.
I know he is. I lost track of reality this year.
What is reality, anyways? What you make of it, Vic?
It's when my dab pen works. That's reality.
Is it not working already?
It could just be a low battery.
You know you have to charge these things. Wow.
And you know how much.
Well, our power hour is just about up, anyways. I want to try. We got one more day. We haven't been able to beat Fortnite at all this season. I'm very upset about it. I want the damn freaking umbrella. No, we don't chat with anybody. No, we don't talk with anybody. We just talk amongst ourselves. We don't go freaking into that. I don't do voice chat. I hate voice chat in games. Unless I'm just playing with a friend. I don't like talking to strangers. I hate it. I'll podcast, but I won't sit on gaming. I like to just, most of the time, play a game and just enjoy the freaking game. I don't want to be talking to people. Even my streams, I most of the time will talk in the beginning and be like, okay, now we're just going to play. Sorry if it's boring, but hey, we're playing.
Yeah.
I do thank everybody for watching tonight's Horror Nights. We will be back, and I want to just suggest to everybody.
Double header next week.
Well, we do have a double header next week, and that's what I was going to talk about. We have a double header next week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then Horror Nights will be finding a new home on Tuesday nights. Same time, same location, but just a different night. And
kills are kills. She's right. Kills a point. It's a body. Like when you see, like how many kills, who had the most kills, like Jason or Michael Myers or whatever like that. They don't count the whole accident. No, it's a kill. Is a kill.
So, like when you get fall damage, who does that kill count for?
If fall in.
If you get fall damage in Fortnite, who gets the kill victory? When you fall off the cliff.
You do, because it's your dumbass.
See? I claim that shit and I'll start dancing because you'd be like, oh, you fell. But no. Honestly, you are right, though. Kill's a kill. The other guy does get the point. And hopefully we come home with some victory because we deserve it. Like you said, we deserve it. Where's the sacrifice? We deserve the sacrifice. We've been busting asses. We've been busting people. We've been doing all these things.
If we don't do a sacrifice soon, then the devil's going to make us do whatever he wants. I mean, we might be fucking like in the middle of a wrestling ring in front of 35 people, like rubbing our bellies, acting like morons. I mean, it's just like you don't know what's going to happen.
I'll be like that voodoo shit. Somebody will like possess you. The scariest thing is you showed Michael the one movie that you probably shouldn't have showed him. The movie where how to do the sacrifice so the world don't end. Did he make it to the end of Cabin in the Woods?
Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah, you said you showed your son Cabin in the Woods. Did he make it to the end of the film?
I showed him Halloween Ends.
Oh, I thought you said you showed him Cabin in the Woods at one point.
That'll be great.
Oh, I was going to say, that has the sacrifice. What's the Twitch to watch? Let me see. I can tell you it. I don't ever know my own Twitch name. Mm-hmm.
I probably would not be going live because
I am gonna go. Hold on, I have to. I haven't logged into my app in like a minute.
Oh, never mind. Mine's the World of Sin. The dash world dash.
Mine is just a straight the VSW. TAG VSW.
Ice
I
Chicken.
recently played Terrify, the arcade game, which was a fun game, by the way. If you just want to like ever play a game that's just a beat 'em up slasher game that's just like mindless, Terrify the game is it. There's no real plot or anything. It's just you go around beating people up. It reminded me of like Double Dragon, but with Art the Clown, Blood, and Damon Leone as the final boss. Can't go wrong with that. We'll see you all in Game Land. Everybody have a good night. Tuesday and Thursday next week, and then Tuesday following. Stay spooky, everyone. Thank you for watching. Mm.